Hi, friends on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram again. This is Attorney Marina Shepelsky. I'm an immigration lawyer in New York, and I'm here to talk about immigration news and all the things that have to do with U.S. immigration, politics, and social life, everything related to U.S. immigration. And we will also talk about your questions. So you can actually post your questions during the show, and I will be happy to answer them after we discuss the news. So I'm just going to start by, I guess, introducing myself to new followers. If you are enjoying the show, if you like what you're seeing, please give us a like, give us a thumbs up on the bottom of your screen, a heart. This will tremendously help me to have this video seen by more people. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up, and also please subscribe, become our follower. Then you'll be the first to know every time we release new videos. And I usually do this every week, so every week there's fresh news and fresh information going on. Let me connect here to my Instagram comments. And if you're just tuning in, I'm Marina Shepelsky, immigration lawyer in US. Our office is in New York. And if you're watching this from Cleveland, drop a comment and say, I'm watching from Cleveland. If you're watching this from Mumbai, from India, say India. If you're from Pakistan, say Pakistan, where you're from. Drop a comment here to show me where you're watching me from, and let me know that I'm in the right place, which I think actually I connected to the wrong account on Instagram. Join me on Shepelsky Attorney. I'm connecting here. One moment. Okay, connecting my account here. The right account this time. Oh my God, I messed up. Oh, I'm getting comments. Hello, my friends here on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm fixing my camera. I'm a mess today, but there's good news. And the good news is I have light now here. So I don't know if you're seeing this, but I have a lot more light because now I have new lights installed here. And drop me a comment if you can see me better. If you're watching me on Facebook, or if you're watching me on YouTube, can you see me better this time? Because I have a lot more lights. We finally had an electrician in this office. And I'm Marina Shepelsky, by the way, for people on Instagram who are just joining us. This is my weekly immigration news show. We start by talking about immigration news, and then I will answer your questions in the order that I receive them. Please drop a comment about where you're watching me from, then I'll know where you are and give you a shout out. And Abdul Mansarai says, I'm watching from the Bronx in New York. I love the Bronx. I love New York. Our office is in New York, but we work with all the 50 states. And Jazz Gotra says, hi, hello. Abdul Mansarai says, how can somebody reach our office? My number's on the bottom of your screen on Instagram. And on Instagram, actually, it's in the profile, but on YouTube and Facebook, it's on the bottom of your screen. Okay, I'm logging into my comments now. There's questions coming in already. Joseph Tamitopi Joseph. We discussed his name last time. Says hello, good morning, my lovely lawyer. Thank you for what you've been doing. Thank you. Let's see. Timothy Joseph is watching from Maryland. Noble ET says hi, watching from Houston. I will be answering your question a little bit later. I've seen them. Fiona, I actually did not see your question. Can you repost it again? Nobody's watching from Houston. I mentioned that already. People want to know how to reach me. My number is literally on the bottom of the screen for those watching on YouTube and on Instagram. On the Instagram, it's in my profile. Just click the little round button with my picture that has all our contact information. And then you can schedule a consultation. Okay, let's get into talking about the news. I see you guys are watching. Instagram is coming along a little bit at a time. Uh, my friends on Instagram, drop a comment where you're watching me from, the city and the state. I want to know where you are. Say hello and drop a comment. So let's talk about the immigration news and generally the news this week. This has been an insane with news. Imran Ahmad says hello on Instagram. Yay, people are finally saying hello. This has been a crazy week. We've had an assassination attempt on the former president, President Trump, in Butler, Pennsylvania. He was at a rally there for his election campaign, and some crazy dude climbed on the roof and shot at him with a big rifle. Came very close. We're talking millimeters to killing him. He lost a part of his ear, apparently. He fell on the ground, and as you've seen the pictures, I'm sure, the Secret Service tried to cover him up, save him, grab him from the stage, took him, and they shot the shooter, the assassin. He's no longer with us on this earth. And we've all seen this. Lots of questions came out from this. Lots and lots of questions. Imran Hamad says, hello from Saudi Arabia. Thank you for watching. Pleasy Baby says, I'm in Uganda. Hello, hello. So the question is, how did this happen? We have the Secret Service. We had plenty of people around him. How did they miss it? The normal situation, the normal preparation for something like this would have been for the Secret Service to come to this location 2, 3, 4 days, a week before, and look around and see the roofs, see all the potential places where a shooter or an assassin could hide. Go knock on doors, ask people questions, ask what's going on, ask, like check if there's felons living in the area, get rid of them. Like there's a lot of work that goes into this, and nothing was done here. Plus, people are reporting that they were telling the Secret Service people, hey, we see somebody on the roof with a gun, and they would be ignored. All kinds of questions. Then, of course, there's a question of how were they, acting when the whole thing happened. One person, the victim, passed away. Unfortunately, a firefighter who covered his body saved the day that passed away. There was another person injured. Trump was injured. This was a big win, despite everything, for the Trump campaign. Okay, guys, don't mistake about it. This was a huge present to Trump and his reelection campaign because last time that the president was shot was with Reagan, and every state voted Republican then. Okay, there's like one state I think that didn't vote Republican. Everyone else voted for Reagan in 1980 when there was an assassination on Reagan. So to compare to today's time, here we are. A lot more people are for Trump now. Nobody wants to see one side killing the other side. We are United States. We're supposed to be one of the best countries in the world. And this kind of violence turns people off, turns them towards the person who the attack was against, and this is Trump. And it's very sad. It's really looking like Trump will win this election. and that means really bad news for immigrants. Then he picks his vice president. Another big news. This guy, J.D. Vance, he's a super young guy for a politician. So let's talk about him. Okay, let's talk about his political background. Well, the news is saying he is pretty unknown politically. Politically, he is known for having written a book about his life, and he has an Indian American wife. He is from Milwaukee, I guess, and he was the Ohio. He is still an Ohio senator, and he was picked by Trump because he wants a young voice. The guy's 39 years old. He wants a young voice for the Republican Party next to him. He only has 2 years, less than 2 years in Congress. Not very well known. People are a little surprised, but nothing that Trump does anymore is very surprising. Of course, President Biden called to please, don't start with violence, and really expressed sympathy and support for Trump in this time. But they know that this is a really bad sign for the Democrats when the Republican candidate gets shot and injured at a rally. That means this president, the sitting president, is not doing a very good job as the commander in chief. The Secret Service didn't do a great job, messed messed up bad here. And just a little more about James David Vance, JG Vance. He's going to be the vice president candidate with Trump. He's an American politician, author, and was a Marine. He's a Marine veteran. He serves as the junior U.S. Senator from Ohio since 2023, not even 2 years in the office. And he used to hate Trump. He called Trump Hitler before. And now all of a sudden, we're on the same side. So listen, it is what it is. It sure is looking stronger and stronger for Trump, which is really scary for immigrants and for me as well. And other, immigration attorneys, because Trump is definitely, again, not just words. We've seen him in action the last time he was in the office, and he messed up a lot of rules that were in place for a long time to make things hard for immigrants, starting with bringing their loved ones through family unification. There were these crazy cockamamie forms you had to do for the beneficiary when they were really having a support, your citizen relative, and a lot more crazy things. Murawat is watching us from Pakistan. Hello. D-Boy, or D-Boy 9007 is asking me on Instagram in my account, Shepelsky.attorney, that I ask you guys, by the way, to follow and subscribe. If you want to help me out, if you want me to keep making more videos, please subscribe. Shepelsky.attorney on Instagram. He's asking, if Trump becomes a president, will it be easy to get the H-1B from India? I'm not sure. It's hard to say, but the one good thing about immigration that Trump has expressed is that he's willing to give green cards for people who got a U.S. college degree or master's degree. And that's kind of good, and that would be welcome, actually. All right, so that was the biggest news of last week. Honestly, I don't know what else I can say in terms of immigration news that will overshadow what we talked about. An attempted assassination on our former President Trump, who is the current candidate. This is really not a good way to get rid of opposition. If anybody in the Democratic Party knew about this, but many people are saying that the Secret Service messed up on this. They really messed up. They did not do their job to protect him, even before the shooting happened, right? Like, that shouldn't even have happened if the Secret Service did their job. That guy, whatever his name is, Matthew, whatever, should not have been on the roof. If he was not on the roof, then none of this would have happened. So, by the way, in the debate, Trump did not really answer any questions about immigration. except he said he will close down the borders. But, effectively, Biden has done that already by refusing to give any kind of asylum to anybody who didn't come through CBP-1. So if you get over to US on the border and you didn't file through CBP-1, you'll now be denied for asylum. They would not even let you start the case. They will send you right back. In terms of what's going on with the USCIS with immigration, the current visa bulletin came out for the month of August already, for the August 2024 dates. Let me compare it right now for you guys with the visa bulletin for July. So let's start with final action dates in, like, the most common one is spouses of US citizens. I'm sorry, US green card holders. Spouses of US green card holders. Green card holder spouses and kids under 21. In July, they were on November of 2021. In August, they're still in November 2021. Okay. In July, for people in the United States, forget about that. For people filing for their siblings, F4, they were on August 2007. They're still in August 2007, in August of 2024. So there wasn't much movement on the family petitions, unfortunately. Let's talk about the employment categories for everybody inside US waiting for the E2 or EB2, rather EB2 green card, second priority for exceptional ability. They were I'm looking this up right now. They were on 22 of March 2023, and in August they're still on March 22, 2023. So really not much movement. That's the news for August, unfortunately. If you're watching this and you like my video, please give me a like, a thumbs up, or a heart, and subscribe. Press the little bell below if you're on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate it. You're super, super helping me if indeed you are subscribing and if you're liking my videos. And drop a comment where you're watching me from. Okay, I think I'm going to start with answering your questions. Before I do, as usual, I have to give you a disclaimer. Nothing said in the show is meant as legal advice. Each case is different. Please call or schedule a consultation. The phone number is on the bottom. The website is on the bottom. If you're watching me on YouTube and on Facebook, if you're watching me on Instagram, that's my profile. It's Shepelsky.attorney. And subscribe if you're not a subscriber. But all the contact information is there. Let's get into your questions. The very first time. Oh, Chibuki Aniwango says this is Mr. Aniwango, Chibuki Maxwell from Enugu State in Nigeria. Hello and welcome. Lona on YouTube says, you have a master's degree and you work in a profession for over 20 years. When you get a green card, do you charge for a consultation? You can through the EB2, but as I just mentioned, the line now for the EB2, the line for the visa is about a year and a half, 2 years. So you have to stay in your visa status if you have a visa status right now, right? So you have to stay in it. If you don't have status, you can't really get a green card like that, but you would be able, potentially through U.S. citizen spouse or kid, to give us a quote to see what you qualify for. Love Master says, the attorney, what happens after prima facie determination letter is received? This is for people who filed the VAWA I-360 petition. And what are the usual issues we see for the request for evidence for this type of VAWA case? So let's start from the end here. The usual things that RFE brings up is, was this marriage a real marriage? Or bona fide? Was this a bona fide marriage? Did you marry for love and to have a family together? How do we test that? They see what affidavits from witnesses you submitted, witness letters. They see what documents you can show for your marriage, like a joint bank account, a joint bills and names, joint tax returns, joint trips, things like that. That's the kind of things that come up on the RFPs if they have doubts about what you send them. Like they don't believe when you send them something doesn't jive. There's some sort of a misalignment between what you said and a witness letter, stuff like that. Question on Instagram. Hassan bid 123. How long will the court take to terminate your case after the I-360 approval? It depends on the judge. It depends how quickly your lawyer sends in a motion to terminate. 2, 3 months, maybe a few days. It depends, from as little as maybe a week or two to several months, a few months. Vera says thank you on Instagram. Burson wants to know what is the best immigration law school that you can recommend? Immigration law is not something I learned in law school. Any law school is fine. Immigration law you learn by working with a law firm that does immigration law, in clinics, in organizations that help people in from experience. It's not something you really learn in law school. Stalwart, stalwart, zeros is dear ma'am. I'm SCCA qualified. Can you find a way for me to get settled and get a job? We don't help with that, unfortunately. Stalwart zero. We only help with the paperwork for visas and stuff like that. Okay, let's move on. On YouTube, Nobility says, hello, I am married to a U.S. citizen. And I adjust my status with parole under Section 212G5A humanitarian parole received at the border from ICE. They didn't give me an I-94 and I'm not in removal. Hopefully you have some document that proves you have the parole. And yes, you can. Yes. Chibuki Enyan says, Slim, I wish to relocate to the U.S. from Nigeria. How can I successfully do this? We don't really help with the relocation, unfortunately. If you have a sponsor, a family member, or an employer who wants to sponsor you, you can relocate. Okay. Fiona has a question on YouTube. I answered it about the 20 years in the US. Thank you, Fiona, for asking. Drow says, hi, my dear. Hello. Glove Master says, how long does it take for VAWA to be approved? And judging from our recent experiences, anywhere between 2 to 4 years, between 2 to 4 years for VAWA to be approved. Usually, the best scenario is 2 years. The worst is 4 years. Usually somewhere in between, like 3 and a half takes for VAWA to be approved. Drow says, please, what is a 994? I crossed in the U.S. land border of Mexico and get a job with my I-94. I-94 is proof that you received some kind of status when you came in here, and that's called proof of admission. Okay? With that, you can apply for a work permit if you have parole status. With a work permit and a social, you can get a job. The I-94 itself will not get you a job. And that's not going to help you when you find a job and they want proof of your status. That's not going to help. Okay, we talked about this. Eloise Presley says, how long will the U.S. Embassy move by take for my SB1 returning resident application? Sometimes 3-4 months, sometimes even a little more. Dushanti Rajapaksa says, what do you have to say about asylum, which has not yet been interviewed? Will pending asylum be expedited before the election? No, they're not going to expedite anything with the election, so that's not going to happen. You mentioned the other day that 10 new judges have been appointed to see this out. I mean, if you haven't been interviewed, you are a perfect candidate. Give us a call and schedule for consultation to make sure. For something called a writ of mandamus, where We basically file a lawsuit in federal court against immigration, saying you are not doing what you're supposed to do by interviewing somebody after 5 years that they're here. If you've been waiting longer than 5 years, which sounds like you have, give us a call. We can help you get your interview scheduled and move your case and expedite it. I guarantee that a writ of mandamus for those people who have been waiting for asylum 5 years or longer works 100% of the time. So wherever you are, give us a call. We can help you expedite your asylum like that. There's some other less effective ways, but there are some ways other than the writ of mandamus. There's no real way to expedite. Okay. Elvis is watching from India. Hello, hello. Temitoki Joseph says, please, when somebody get problems, if she has a request from USCIS for a background and she gave it to her lawyer, but he's not giving it to USCIS in time, if she's sending herself, can it be a problem? No. If you're responding to an RFE and you didn't wait for your lawyer, you just did it yourself, it should not be a problem. Goodman says, hi, my friend. Hello. Goodman has a question on YouTube. Now that Trump is coming back, what's the future of asylum seekers? I don't know if anything is going to really change over time for the asylum seekers. We did change last time some rules about who should get asylum, but asylum is still here. So I don't expect like huge changes for people already in the asylum program. Um, thank you, thank you. Let's talk about the Instagram question. Thank you from Joy Yoti for replying. Hi, Lucky says, hello, ma'am. How are you? Can you tell me some border crossing? You can Google border crossing points and you can see a list. Con Squash says, she's 15 years old based on asylum. Me and my wife are permanent residents. I don't really see the whole question here. Who is 15 years old? Okay. So let's talk about the news a little bit more. Um, so what does it mean if Trump becomes a president, our president, for the second time? Well, he has plans for immigration. He wants to shut down the borders almost completely. That's effectively already done by Biden, but this is recent, recently he was doing. So probably he'll make it even worse and even harder to cross the border, which I think will be okay right now because it's just been the borders, the people who cross the borders, that overwhelmed our system and our cities. He talked about deporting everyone who doesn't have status. This is not for people who are waiting for asylum. This is not for people who are waiting for VAWA or family petition. This is for anybody who doesn't have any status. Courts and stuff like that. And you deport. So it's not going to be great. It's going to be crazy. We have to survive 4 years. Question from Amaka and Geo4. If you're watching me and you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe, right? Before I move on. Amaka Geo4 says, Marina, what are the signs your VAWA is going well and it's going towards approval? So if you complete the 3 major things, proof of the marriage, joint bills, joint marriage documents, tax returns, trip together, good witness letters, you have background checks submitted, you prove you were abused by going to a psychologist, then your power will be approved, and that's a good sign. Najrul 1835 says, Assalamu alaikum, how are you? I'm from Bangladesh. Hey, you guys, are you watching this big wedding in India between these like billionaire kids? Uh, I'm gonna tell you their names. Anant Ambani and Radhika. She's got like a last name. Oh my god. Merchant. So the billionaire heir Anant Ambani married his longtime girlfriend Radhika Merchant in Mumbai. And people from India, Bangladesh, even Pakistan, Are you guys watching this? This is a crazy, crazy event that went on for months. They spent like $1 billion on this wedding. I'm personally offended that they could have spent this money on helping India become a better country. The climate in India is terrible. The water pollution is terrible. Those two things could have been greatly improved by taking that $1 million. But anyway, I was just wondering if you guys are watching that. Another comment on Instagram here. Yaki Sola. Hey, would it be possible to file for CAD after I've been ordered to get? Oh, can you still file for Convention Against Torture after I've been ordered removed or deported? I did some prison time for drug charges, lived here in the States for 20 years. I have a wife and kid, both citizens. I don't know. The hope is very little in this case. There's not much we can do for you, unfortunately. Um, Hans Squash says somebody filed for social. No news. How long does it take? A work permit with a social usually takes, even based on asylum, like a year or so. Um, okay. On this note, I have one. So I have a few more questions on YouTube, and then I'm gonna say good day to you guys. Amaka Geofar says filed for VAWA, 30 months, still doesn't have an RFE. And already have 4 primary prima facie approvals. What does it mean? It means you just have to wait. You have to wait 6 more months. That sort of thing. At least 6 more months for results. Andrew Lopez says my cousin brother came here without inspection from Mexico. He's from India, and he applied for asylum. He did not get stopped at the point of entry. There's no record of his entry. Sadly, I think if you came with no visa and you didn't use CBP1, they might deny his asylum, but you can certainly try, and you will probably get a work permit for this. So, if he entered before 2024, sounds like he did. You can probably do it. Let's try. Give us a call, Andrew Lopez. You can probably start getting a work permit social and see where that goes. On that note, I'm going to say see you later, guys. Hope to see you next week. Prepare your questions for next time. Subscribe, please, to our channel. Give us a like for the video, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much.